Okay, so let me tell you how we're going to work this today. So I've got three beautiful big crystals I'm going to show you in a moment. And when you, we'll have a look at them. And once you've looked at all of them, just see which one you feel most connected with, most drawn to. For whatever reason, you feel attracted to that particular crystal today. So make sure that once you've looked at all of them, you choose just one of them that you feel, right, that is my crystal today. And then I'm going to channel messages from each crystal for all of you. And so when your crystal, when I channel the message from your crystal, you know that that's the message coming through for you today. Okay, this is the first one. This is Chrysocolla. And yeah, I've got my camera on portrait mode, so it's kind of, I have to keep it right in front of me to make sure it stays clear. But look at the beautiful patterns on this, and it's kind of green, but it has these amazing aqua kind of bits poking through. So chrysocolla, I'm not sure if you've come across that before, but here it is. So that's the first bit. So see how you feel about chrysocolla today. It's a nice heavy chunk and nice and smooth. Okay, second bit is another interesting piece. And this one is Rose. So this is quite a cool bit because it just stands up on our shelf. And as you can see, there's all of those shimmering, tiny little fairy crystals. And yeah, so that's Cell Rose. So see how you feel about that one. Throat, heart. Beautiful, aren't they? And then last but not least, let me just give it a little polish up, is Labradorite. Now, I'm going to try and get the right angle here so you guys can still got a bit of a sticker on this one, but oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, Labradorite. Isn't Labradorite amazing? And it has some pieces have that amazing blue green like that, and then other pieces have more like yellow or pinkish even. So wow, look at that. Look at the colors. It's insane. And the other side again. How do I get that color back? There we go. Cool. So that's Labradorite. So those are the three. Chrysocolla, Cell Rose, and the wonderful Labradorite. It's just getting that angle right. I think the side's cooler. Wow. It's on fire, isn't it, when it gets the right angle? Is everybody ready for the first channeled message? So if you chose Chrysocolla today, if you feel like Chrysocolla is the one that is for you for whatever reason, you just are drawn to it, then this is your message. Just let me connect in with this. I get a real goddess energy actually when I tune in with the energy of Chrysocolla. And what I'm feeling she's saying to you, if you chose this, is it's time to let go of something. It's time to let go of some stress, some idea, some perception, some baggage, something that's been hanging on in the background of your mind that's been bringing you down. And I think it's been bringing you down in a sense of affecting your identity, affecting who you are, who you believe that you are in the world, you know, like a kind of a self-doubt or a negative way of thinking about yourself, or it could be like a body issue, something like that. I see this beautiful goddess walking on the beach and just like kind of all free and flowing. And she's just kind of doing this ritual for just letting go of whatever this old energy is of that was bringing you down, like an old thought, an old program, something someone said to you when you were 7 years old and it just stuck with you, something like that. There's something. It's time to let it go. It's time to come more into your goddess energy. And if you're a male, um, then the way that I would translate that is it's time to be more comfortable with your vulnerability, with your feminine side, with your truth, with your emotions, with how you truly feel about things, and not to not to try and hide that just to be accepted by your peers and things like that, but to feel more in tune with the moon, with the earth, with your emotions and flowing with how they flow. So let me just see what else I'm getting, if I get anything more specific here. Chrysocolla is saying you can't live the way you want to live and share and bring and radiate the beautiful healing energy and light that you want to bring to the world from a place of contraction, from a place of feeling not good enough or having doubts or not thinking you're enough in whatever way. And it's time to rise and realize and take up your place. Take up your place here. You're here. You belong here. You are an important, integral part of the oneness. And you have an important light to share, something important to bring, something important to express. So it's time to stop holding yourself back with silly thoughts that don't mean anything, self-doubts that are ridiculous, and just start to be in your goddess energy more, or your divine feminine, where you're in tune with your more intuitive side and your emotions, and you're expressive and not scared to share things. And you don't care, what other people think of you. It's not about that. It's about what is really important for you to offer, for you to share, for you to bring, and to do that bit by bit without having this pinching kind of self-consciousness about how will people receive me. Just knowing that when you're in the flow of, or when you feel good and when there's something powerful wanting to express through you and it feels right and it feels high and it feels loving and it feels, helpful, that is definitely the right thing to do and very much encouraged. Because it's time to step more into leadership rather than keeping yourself down and staying, this is what we can do, isn't it? The mind can say all its little berating thoughts, and it just kind of keeps us at a kind of a stuck or lower level. Whereas if you could break through some of that, if you could just release some of that old stuff, realizing it's only holding love back from being able to come through you into the world. It's only holding back your potential as a soul and helping this higher, being part of this higher mission that you are part of. So I hope that makes sense. This has been, I've kind of gone into a few different areas here. So yeah, the meaning of chrysocolla and energy of chrysocolla, stone of empowerment, communication, and calming. People who tend to get erratic and hyper emotional during stressful situations need to carry a piece of chrysocolla. This stone will help in reducing that panic feeling when overwhelmed and will allow you to have a clear head and calm mind while making difficult decisions. Chrysocolla will aid in communicating those thoughts while raising your wisdom to achieve these ideas in reality. Chrysocolla is commonly worn around the neck, throat chakra for maximizing those abilities. It's been found with quartz infused. Yeah, it brings forth inner truth about yourself in a very clear, understanding way. Cool. Absolutely, but it's definitely got that feminine energy in it, I reckon, like that kind of being in tune with your emotions and your wisdom, that comes from, because we gather wisdom not by trying to control our emotions or forcing them or pushing them away or denying them. We gather wisdom by allowing ourselves to really feel what's there in any present moment, don't we? And then as we allow those feelings to move, wisdom comes along with them. We get insights, we get clarity, we get downloads as the energy moves. And so as women, we generally, not always, but generally we're kind of a little bit more feeling. We have like hormones we cycle through every month that generally kind of bring up emotions often. I don't know if you get that, but I do. And we're here to be leaders in that kind of energy of it's okay to feel, it's okay to really allow our emotions to move through and to bring wisdom as they do, to be in tune with the cycles of the earth and the moon and all of that, and to allow authentic wisdom to come forth. And yeah, let's all let go of those old silly thoughts about what do I look like? How do I compare myself to other women and what their bodies are doing at the moment? And, all of that stuff only blocks the wisdom that could be coming through us for all of us. So I hope that if this was your crystal, this resonates with you today. So, Cell Rose, let's move on to this powerful little baby, which has a totally different vibe than Chrysocolla, doesn't it? And this is where we can start to tune in to what the crystal messages are just by tuning in. Every crystal has a certain vibe, and we don't need a book to kind of tune into that, do we? We just can feel it. One of the ways that I tune into crystals that works quite well is I imagine in my inner world that I'm walking right inside, like I'm a tiny little energy, and I'm stepping into the crystal and right into the energy of it and looking around and feeling it. And that can be a good way to really receive messages there or receive healing from the crystals. So, Cell Rose, if you chose this one, this is your message. Definitely feel like a healing of the heart. A healing of the heart is what comes to me straight away. I kind of see the heart area glistening with those tiny little crystals. And it's almost like they're kind of growing in the heart area. And as they're doing so, they're growing new life in the heart chakra and letting go of old. I do feel an energy of grief because that's the energy of letting go. Something, an old hurt and old pain is moving on. It is being released. What else can I pick up here? I feel and hear the message. There is good times coming for you. If you chose this crystal, the message coming through is you've been through some tough times. You've been through the ringer. But rest assured, beautiful times are coming. Rest assured, healing is happening. And don't be afraid to let go of what has been and gone and passed. And that includes loved ones that might have passed, opportunities that might have fallen away, things that you've outgrown and, passed through, phases of your life that are now over, and all of that energy of letting go of the old, the grieving, the things that are past, even though they were beautiful and they were powerful in their time, you are coming in to more power. You are coming into more beautiful times. So don't be afraid to let go of what was. Old identities, old ways of being, ways your body used to be, all sorts of things. What are you letting go of? What have you outgrown? What doors are closing now? Don't try to keep them alive when they've passed their due date. It's time to let go. It's time to move away. And just, if there's a grieving that goes with that, then that's all good. But letting go, the heart is healing itself. New growth is happening. New growth is happening in the heart. And new phases are on their way. New phases that are just as beautiful, just as wonderful, just as spontaneously, creatively, miraculously magnificent, that you cannot fathom what they are right now. But as you let go, you're more apt to, allowing them. I mean, if we're holding on to the old, how can the new really take seed in our consciousness? Trust, like how the trees, at the end of autumn or in autumn, they just let go. They let go. They let go of all their leaves. Well, the ones that shed leaves, that is. They let go of all their leaves in absolute trust. They don't have to have any kind of like validation that spring's going to come. They don't have any anything telling, like they just know life's got me. And they let go of all their leaves. They let go of that old phase, that old season, that old beauty they were just in. They let go completely. And those leaves, they go down and they fertilize the ground for the next season. And then inevitably it comes and their life comes back and they go into their beauty again, and emit that beautiful energy. It's all cycles, isn't it? So this one is saying, okay to let go. Grieve those things that have gone. Let them go. They were beautiful, and it's beautiful to be in that energy of grieving. If we're not judging the energy of grieving, it's actually such a freaking deeply powerful, spiritually connected, amazing feeling that comes through us when we're really in it, like a freight train, and can just clear the energy. And like when the rain comes through and just washes everything clean. And when grief passes through, I've got tingles, man. When grief passes through and is gone, we can be sitting in some of the highest spiritual frequencies, just post grief, where we're really open and really connected. And it's a powerful energy. So let's not deny grief if it's there. Let it move. Let the new start to grow, because that's what is happening, and you're heading into beautiful new phases. So all the best with that. In the book, this is The Talisman of Love. Help one discover their true emotions buried within. The stone helps pull out all the suppressed feelings we hold so dear to us. Oh, that's good. The relaxing vibrations that emanate from cobalt and calcite will assist one in finally dropping the guard around these precious emotions and releasing them. Powerful. When one begins this process, many experiences, thoughts, and feelings may be brought up and cause one to feel uncomfortable. This stone is here to hold you in times like this and provide as much nourishment and love one will need to get through the trauma. Beautiful. Cobaltian calcite will remind you how strong a person you truly are to continue moving forward each day, even bearing all this weight. As we release this weight, one will soon realize just how much negativity they've been carrying around with them daily. While facing these experiences, one will learn to grow from them and soon realize what having a cleansed soul truly means. Each day, one will have more space to love and do things that make them truly happy. This will help one live a life full of joy, compassion, while also not forgetting where and what you came from. Oh, this is beautiful, isn't it? And really does kind of fit in with the channeled message of really letting go of what's there, the grief. As you release, as you keep releasing these old things you've been carrying, you start to realize, oh my God, like I feel so much better. I can't believe I was walking around in that heaviness. But the heaviness that we live in every day is so normal to us. You know, it's like water that the fish is swimming in. We don't have any context to see it, if you know what I mean. It's just there. And then when we start to do the deeper work and let go, we we feel better and better, and we realize, oh my God, this is what life can really be like. I can actually feel joy for no particular reason. I can feel light. I can feel full of life. That is what life is meant to be, is it not? Like just this pure love of life, this beingness, this just natural sense of well-being and joy, which is always there, by the way, underneath the surface of all of the stuff we've plastered on top of it, all of the old beliefs and the things we're holding on to, that the inner talking, the narratives, clinging on to the past, worrying about the future. If we just cleared all of that, would just be feeling as fresh and new and sparkling as this present moment always is, isn't it? It's just always new, it's always fresh, it's always spontaneous and filled with life force. But yeah, wow, I love that. Let's come now to the last one, which is labradorite. Let me just get that shine. There it is. Ooh, this is kind of quite an out of worldly crystal, isn't it? It's got this very spiritual, cosmic 5D kind of quality. I love it. So if you chose this one, this is your message. I'm going to tune into labradorite for you today. Definitely, I'm picking up on guidance. I'm picking up on your spiritual guidance. There's something about being connected with that in here. And there's definitely something about the third eye, about seeing, visioning, accessing locked or previously hidden information, decoding. Let me just get clearer on what this means. So if you chose this crystal, your guidance wants to work in more closely with you in terms of, could be whatever you call it, spirit guides, your angels, your teachers, mentors, soul family, ancestors, who are part of your non-physical team that supports you on your path. Now, it is important for you now in this juncture of your life to start to generate and create your own connection with this guidance, your own conversation and personal relationship there. It's quite easy for us to go to readers or to use cards, which are all great. There's nothing wrong with that. But now for you, if you chose this crystal, the message is that it's time that you got blah, 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 get the words out. It's really important that you start building your own empowerment in this area through trial and error, through asking, through listening, through being awake and aware, through paying attention to the signs, all these different little ways that you start to understand, this is my higher guidance communicating with me here. These are the prompts that I'm feeling, and look what happened. This is the synchronicity that came in. This is the intuitive impulse I got when I asked this question and I followed it through, and this is what happened. And then you start to get that feeling like, oh my God, there really is something in this. I am really having a relationship with the higher part of my mind, or the spiritual guidance, or whatever you want to call that energy. And this guidance of yours, I feel like it's wanting to unlock It's wanting to unlock something, and this is what I want to get more information on. What is this? What are we unlocking? It's understanding yourself. It's understanding almost like the hacks, the personal little hacks that unlock hidden resources for you personally, which might mean when I think in certain ways, or when I say this particular affirmation, or when I do this particular visualization, or when I walk barefoot, or when I whatever, it makes me feel this particular way, which balances me out in this particular area, for example. There are little personal hacks that you can employ that your guidance wants to help you unlock, that you don't need to get out of a book, that you don't need anybody to tell you what to do. It's all encoded there within you. And your guides want to help you to unlock these little self-mastery hacks, I'll call them, that you can employ in your own life to help you to overcome those things that are really difficult for you, or build more motivation or stamina, or whatever it is that would be helpful for you at this time. So the guidance here from Labradorite is to start talking to your guides more often, to start building a deeper relationship and a sense of trust in that relationship. Ask them to do things for you. Give them assignments. Work on projects with them. Tell them that you want to unlock this particular piece, or you're looking for guidance in this area, and make time to feel and listen and hear what might be communicated. Remember that tuning in with your guides is not something that we find out there. That communication is something that happens through the subtle feelings within your own inner world. The inner world is the place where you connect through the imagination, through the inner feelings and things, those subtle little vibrations within you. As you become more and more in tune with your inner space and the subtle feelings and nuances inside of you, you'll more easily be able to discern what they are saying, what the impulses and the intuition and the downloads and the visions and things like that, and start to take action on what you're receiving in order to build this relationship and build this trust here. And where this is going is this is aimed at building more confidence, that you are becoming more confident as a sovereign entity, that you're not reaching so much for the outside world to give you answers or permission or validation about making certain moves in your life, or anything like that. It's more that you're becoming this is growing. This message and what is being said today is being said in order to help you to grow that sense of sovereignty, that everything I need, all the information I need to know is now. It's here. It's within me. And if I can just tune into certain energies, or allow myself the space to develop these deeper connections, I can actually gain like so much and find so much of those answers for myself and get so much of that validation for myself. And that builds a deeper sense of trust in the universe, doesn't it? And confidence in oneself that I can do this. Like, no matter what happens in the world, I can go within, I can connect, I can get downloads, I can find information, I can gather healing energy, I can connect with my guides. All of that is so reassuring, isn't it? We don't have to rely so much on the outside world to bring things. We've got it all happening within. Okay, so Labradorite, the description, this is helpful to read out. Labradorite harnesses the true potential for our own transformative power. Personally, it is one of the first stones that introduced us to the crystal world. If you are someone that experiences anxiety or constantly doubting themselves, Labradorite is the stone to look to. If you're experiencing an anxiety attack, we recommend holding or rubbing a piece of Labradorite, reminding yourself that you have the power to talk yourself down from any situation. It's hard for us to realize sometimes how powerful our minds truly are. Just as we can work ourselves up from situations, we can always calm ourselves down. We are the judge, jurors, and executioners of our own fate. So why not judge ourselves worthy of happiness and potential? Oftentimes, we're quick to judge and label ourselves and others around us. It is becoming increasingly difficult for us to positively talk about ourselves and what we have to offer to the world. Unworthiness is a crippling thought that can stop anyone in their tracks. Finding the light that we all have inside ourselves may be difficult, but it requires us to look in the right direction. Once you see that flash and shine, you will quickly realize your true potential. I'm getting tingles. This is a mirror image of what labradorite has to offer, both physically and energetically. Once you catch that piece of labradorite at the right light, let me do it. There it is. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. There we go. At the right light to see what truly makes us shine. Yes. Isn't that cool? Like, I obviously channeled that message before that was read out, but that is absolutely spot on for what channeled through there with this crystal, because being able to calm ourselves down is to know I can actually find within myself everything I need. And that can happen through a connection with our higher guidance. If you want to call it that, that is using our inner resources, because we all have the ability to go within, to use this powerful tool, which is our mind. And on the inside, I call it the imagination, because it's the inner sense of seeing, of hearing, of sensing, of knowing. And that powerful inner plane is so resourceful in what we can access from there. It is our control chamber, if you like. Whatever we can imagine can happen on the inside, it can happen on the outside. If you want to manifest something, but you can't actually imagine it happening, it's very unlikely it's going to manifest. So what I'm saying is, using the kind of tool of a guide or a higher self, or something like that we can connect with it within, can be a powerful hack to accessing our own inner resources and calming ourselves down from anxiety. It's one of the things about anxiety I've noticed when I've worked with people who have anxiety attacks and things, is that they are often, when the anxiety comes, they're so scared of the anxiety attack. They react to the anxiety attack with anxiety. So they start to feel that they're getting anxious, and then they're anxious that they're getting anxious. And then they go into a full panic mode. But if the anxiety starts to come up, and instead of getting anxious that we've got anxiety, we can go, wow, I can feel that there's some anxious feelings in my experience right now, but it's okay, because I know I can go within and I can find this perfect, beautiful, amazing higher self or guide or teacher or mentor. And I can tune into that vibration, and I can talk to that anxious part of mine, and I can give them a hug, and I can calm this all down. That is sovereignty. That is being a sovereign energy unto oneself, rather than going, I'm anxious and I need some pharmaceuticals, which is okay, of course, depending on wherever you're at in your life. I'm not dissing that completely. I'm just saying it's not going to it's not going to, get rid of the cause of why that anxiety is happening. The only way we're going to ever be able to do that is if we look at it, if we face it. If we just try and push it away and mask it with things, it's only going to just stay there underneath the surface and use us like a puppet and pop up every now and then. And we're going to feel like we're out of control with it. But we're not out of control, are we? We are amazing, powerful energies that are stemming from the creator of all things. We are like rays of light shining out of the sun being the creator. We couldn't be separate even if we tried, but we can pretend we're separate, and we can create the illusion of fear and the illusion of something's out there to get me. And if my mind is thinking that, I can create a very real experience of that for myself. So the key is to wake up before it totally takes us under into unconsciousness, to realize I'm having some feelings that are uncomfortable. Breathe, notice, be awake, be aware. There's feelings in my energy that are not of love at the moment, but they're not me, but they're passing through like clouds wanting to move. I can plug in right now and I can go into my imagination with this part of me and I can use my guidance and all that kind of stuff. And I can use my inner resources to resolve this rather than having to lean on something in the outside world, which will only keep on perpetuating the problem. It's lifestyle. It's not a one-off thing, dealing with like or unblocking ourselves. It's not something you go do once and it's done. It's a lifestyle. It's like I was listening to this thing the other day about, the Big Bang, like the universe goes through these cycles, like the out breath and the in breath. And like everything is mirrored from the macrocosm right down to the microcosm. And so the universe does these big bangs, like it's like the out breath, and the whole universe expands. But then at some point, it does the in breath and everything comes back in to that one little point of density because apparently the Big Bang, exploded out from this tiny, tiny, tiny little, tiniest little thing, particle that was so incredibly dense, you can't even fathom it. And then everything bursts out from that point. So the universe expands and then it contracts like the in-breath and the out-breath, and it comes back in to itself, right into itself, in again, before the next out-breath of expansion again. And this is like the human journey as well, coming here as souls incarnating into this, realm where everything seems separate, coming under the veil of forgetfulness and all of that, so that we can eventually remember our true nature and come back. So we come here as souls, which is like the out breath. We want to experience things, we want to experience things, we want to, gather our experiences, and that's us expansion. And you feel it within your soul. You want to expand, you want to experience, you want to see things, do things, have, things that you learn from, and that's the expansion. But then as souls, we get to the point where we're like, I feel like I'm at the end. I feel like I've done everything. Well, no, I don't know if we think I feel like I've done everything, but we kind of do start to question, why am I here? Who am I? We start to get to the edge of that out breath and we go, and we start to look within. And that's us now starting the inward journey of coming back to oneness. And we start to question and we start to, come back to that singularity again, that I am actually one with all things, and finding our true nature and our actual identity, which is not the transient personal self that goes through all the different lifetimes, like the wave coming out of the ocean, having a lifetime, going back into the ocean, coming out of the ocean into another lifetime, back into the ocean. It's like, what are we really? Are we the wave or are we the ocean? We start to find that cosmic identity, that eternal identity, which is forever and limitlessness and just always safe. It never dies, can't die. It is life itself. And that's truly the universal identity that we are, rather than I am the person, the meat sack, the thing that comes and goes. That's where we get all our troublesome feelings from, that belief that I am this separate person here. Anyway, that process of coming back in, the inward journey, the process coming back to oneness, it is a process. It's now a way of life that we're coming in, rather than always wanting to go out and always wanting to find all the answers on the outside and find the next thing and get the next thing to make us feel better and, get somewhere and all of that stuff. We start to want to find our deeper meaning, and we start that inward process. And that is where we start to change how we do things, and working through the inner stuff is what we start to realize that we need to do. And that uncovers all of those inner layers of self-doubt and fears and anxieties, and as we start to untangle all of those webs of illusion and misinterpretation and misaligned perception, and we start to release these layers, that is us, coming back in to remembering that amazing sense of universality that we all are, that oneness energy, that we all crave, like that feeling that something's missing, that we all have, that feeling of lack. The only thing we're lacking is the remembering of what we really are. That is it. That's all we're looking for. We think we're going to find it in more money or a relationship or a, new house or whatever. But what we really are always cosmically looking for is that remembrance of what we truly are beyond the veil. That's what we're all hungry to find and seeking. And that's what the inward journey is bringing us back to. Yeah.